Well, Assalamualaikum. So we have here Hakim, Nurfadila, Anik already. I have already shared the YouTube live link to our WhatsApp group for both section 13 and section 18. We are now waiting for the participants to join our WebEx group. And when they are all here, you can straight away start the event. Okay?
Okay, Nida.
All right. So we are now live on YouTube.
Do you already appoint the moderator and timekeeper as the co-host, madam?
Sorry, I forgot.
It's okay.
Don't forget to tell all the participants to mute their microphone, right? When we have started the event, okay? Or you can actually mute them. Okay, now all of you here co-host. Okay, one more. Okay, so do you have any more questions before I go on muting my microphone? Okay, I think everything is okay. Everything is in place. So once all the participants are here, you can start the event. Okay. Haikal is one of the participants or one of the jury members?
What?
Haikal, are you one of the participants?
Participant.
You are team one, right?
Yes, team one.
Okay. Sorry. So all the jury have been assigned the role as co-host. Hakim, Anik, Afifa. Afifa, are you a participant or are you one of the jury?
Participant, madam.
Okay, hold on. Afifa. Right. Okay, so Anik, I pass the floor to you.
Mana Musa? Oh, dah. Section. Ya, guys.
We have to bear with it lah. Right, bear with the background sound. We have all the participants. All the participants, could you please start your video? Okay, perhaps we can have only the debaters and the moderator to start their video. The rest, you can actually um, unshare, right, your video so that we can focus on the presenters at this moment.
All of the participants already in this session.
Are all the participants here already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just tell say yes when I call them, right? Afifah here, Muzammil,
Yes, hi. Yeah.
Muhammad Haikal here, Janate, Aimi, and Salim here. Okay, they are all here, right? So Dr. Adi Hakim, you can start now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Very good morning. I am pleased to welcome you all to debate tournament. This morning, I will
So we will start our ceremony with Umul Kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma ij'al jam'ana hadza jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'alillahumma fina wa la ma'ana wa la man yatba'una syaqiyan wa la matrudan wa la mahma. Allahumma ij'al khaira a'marina akhiruhu wa khaira a'malina khawaimuhu wa khaira ayyamina yawmal qafihi. Allahumma ighfir lana dhunubana wa li ikhwanina alladhina sabaquna bil iman. ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله رب العالمين.
for reading now. The being debate in this session will be social media has created the not Muhammad Muzammil bin Salim and Muhammad while the opposition team will be Janatullah bin Nazim, Aimi Zaidi and the opposition team. On behalf of the I extend a special welcome to our jury, Anik Haikal and Nur Fadilah binti Fauzi. The timekeeper for this session will be Raihan and Muhammad Nur Hakim bin Yaakob as your moderator. Each of the debater will have 4 minutes to deliver your remark and can deliver it only once. The first speaker will be informed. The first speaker will be informed the affirmative, followed by the first speaker from opposition team. After that, the second affirmative speaker and second opposition speaker will present their points. The each of the speaker by playing the audio, and when the 4 minute time for each speaker. With that, I call upon the first affirmative speaker, to deliver the resolution. Yes?
Excuse me, one of our team have left the meeting because poor internet connection.
Is it he is the first speaker?
He is the second speaker.
Okay, anyone cover him or her? Anyone of you can cover?
The second speaker is Aimi.
The
Right.
second speaker would be Aimi Zahira, right?
Okay. Why Aimi can't be here?
She lost the
So,
connection.
She's having problem with the internet. Okay, I think we just move on. Right?
Okay.
Because she's the second speaker, that means she'll be the third person. Right? And she's from the opposition, right?
Yes, opposition.
Aimi? Okay, so she'll be the yes. Alright, the fourth speaker, if I'm not mistaken. Right, we have the proposition, and then first opposition, second, and then the third, and she'll be the fourth speaker. Right, so I think hopefully she can troubleshoot, okay, and be here right on time. If not, then we just continue here. Right.
She's here already.
All right. So, okay, I'll pass the mic to you, Ben. Okay.
With that, I call upon the first affirmative speaker to deliver the resolution. Define, term, and outline the affirmative case. The floor is yours.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the jury, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of our debate is social media has created better informed society. We define the topic as an informed society is one where citizens have the resources, education, and skill to access and participate in the free flow of reliable and useful information through a diverse range of platforms and media organizations that empower them to make considered decisions about their economic, social, and political life. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. Today, as first speaker, I will talking to you about why social media has created better informed society. Our second speaker will talking about the positive impact using social media. And lastly, our third speaker will review and sum up our team case. I am to discuss 2 points. My first point is social media is great platform to share information. This is because social media is not always an online distraction or procrastination platforms. While some may be addicted to their social media network, it is one of the best ways to stay informed. Major new outlet, corporation and persons of interest use social media to deliver messages to the mass. With item posting immediately, the public stays informed. Some issues cause controversy, but social media does more good than harm in awareness. This is because although some parents see social media as detrimental to their children, it actually does them some good to have social media accounts. Teens want to be aware and informed just as much as adults. Using social media allows teens to follow organizations and causes that they believe in. It makes them feel like they are a part of something, even when they feel like an outcast in society. Increase in awareness is important. Social media is one of the best outlets to reach the mind of young people a real difference. Tauriel Belantif said that social media is the most adapted communication tools of today's younger generations. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we believe that social media has created better informed society. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you, first affirmative speaker, for her remark and remind the judges that they should not finalize any debater's score until they have heard all the speech. We shall now hear the first opposition speech.
Thank you, judges. I see your point, but I want to talk about the poor time management of someone when they use social media. We know that most people nowadays have social media accounts. Many have developed the habit of checking the account multiple times during the day, even when they're at work or at class, for example. And the time spent on personal accounts supposed to be spent on work tasks such as assignment and many other things. For example, when an employee spends just a few seconds on social media, it can take several minutes to refocus on the task that they was working on before checking their phones. I also oppose your point because social media have created symptoms such as FOMO, which is fear of missing out. FOMO is a phenomenon that was born around the same time as the rise of social media. Unsurprisingly, it's one of the most widespread negative effects of social media on society. FOMO is like a form of anxiety that someone will get when they are scared of missing out on a positive experience that someone else is having. For example, someone might constantly check their message to see if anyone has invited them out or focus on their Instagram feed all day to make sure that nobody is doing something good or doing something cool without them. FOMO can compel a person to pick up their phones every few minutes to check updates or compulsively respond to each and every alert, even if that means taking risks while they are driving, missing out on sleep at night, or prioritizing social media interaction over real-world relationship. This fear receives constant fuel from what someone see on social media. With increased social media network views, there's a better chance for them to see that someone is having more fun than they are right now. And this is basically what causes. Next, social media also created tension at workplace. Even if we know that image we are viewing on social media are manipulated, it still can make us feel insecure about how we look or what's going on in our own life. Similarly, we are all aware that other people tend to share just the highlight of their life, rarely the low point that everyone experiences, but that doesn't lessen those feeling of envy and dissatisfaction when someone is scrolling through their friends feed of their and see the exciting picture of them. And moreover, a study from the University of Pennsylvania found that high usage of Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and all other social media increase the feeling of loneliness. Conversely, the study found that reducing social media usage can actually make someone less feel lonely and isolate and improve overall well-being. Last but not least, human beings need to face-to-face contact to be mentally healthy. Nothing reduces stress and boosts our mood faster or more effective than eye-to-eye contact with someone who cares about us. The more we prioritize social media interaction over in-person relationship, the more we are at risk and developing or exhibiting more disorders such as anxiety and depression. And that's why we oppose this that social media can give better can create a better informed society. Okay, that's all from me.
Now I call upon the second affirmative speaker to deliver the final constructive speech in support of the resolution.
Aku eh? Good afternoon, Mr. Madam, Jasmine, ladies and gentlemen. Topic of debate is social media as created better informal society. The first speaker from the negative team has tried to tell you about, how to use the media social. Sometimes media social can make a negative impact, but social media have the many benefit to about information, um, how to starting business. Okay. Our first speaker has already explained about my social media has created better informal society. Today I will be talking to you about 2 points. My first point is social media is a great performance for communication. Social media is the most adapted communication tool of the today's youngest generation. It's, is easy to see why accessible and user-friendly performance such as Twitter, Facebook, and leaking. Let you create a showcase your personality, develop new content, discuss issue, and keep in touch in real time. They allow you to write, analysis, and share content without any prerequisite. Now to my second point is social media is the best device. Media is no longer the one-way communication channel is it used to be. Will connect device becoming ever more ubiquitous, ubiquitous question can be answered and misunderstanding avoid. It is become easier to connect with people from different places and background to benefit from their experience to support a cause without being deadly involved to enhance will organization and movement and to mobilizing people in less time and with less cost. So, Mr. Madam and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, social media is a very useful and possible medium, give many advantages to social media user. However, as as
The second opposition deliver the last speech opposing the to complete the and defend the summarize the position of the negative.
Good morning and hi. I'm the second opposition. Thank you for the second affirmative. Okay, I agree with you. You have your point. but I'm opposing the statement that social media has created a better informed society because my first point is it's created unrealistic expectations. How? As most people probably know by now, social media forms unrealistic expectation of life and friendship in our minds. Most social media sites have a severe lack of online authenticity. People use Snapchat to share their exciting adventures, post about how much they love their significant other on Facebook, and load up their Instagram page with heavily staged photos. But in reality, you have no way of knowing whether this is all a farce. But it looks great on the surface. That person could be in massive debt and bad terms with their significant others and just desperate for Instagram likes as a form of validation. Their actual life is completely different from what they expose on social media. So, from that, we will only know about their social life within the scope of social media content. In the era of Instagram influencers and YouTubers who earns millions from their inauthentic, it leads them to lying on social media just for the sake of likes. Move to the move to my next point is created negative body image. Speaking of Instagram celebrities, if you look at popular Instagram accounts, you will find unbelievably beautiful people wearing expensive clothes on their perfect shaped bodies. Today, body image is an issue for everyone. Of course, seeing so many people who are supposedly perfect according to society standard and on a daily basis makes you conscious about how different you look from those pictures. And not everyone comes to healthy conclusion in this situation. It's really important to remember that everyone is human. No one wakes up every day looking like a supermodel, and while many people have gone to great lengths to train their bodies, that's not the case for everyone who looks fit. Many people, in search of social media fame, have definitely taken unhealthy routes to appear more attractive. Move to my final point, it's lead to depression and anxiety. How? Let me ask you, do you spend several hours per day browsing through social media? When you're spending too long on social media, it could be adversely affecting your mood. In fact, chronic users are more likely to report poor mental health, including symptoms of anxiety and depression. It doesn't take much thinking to figure out why. Social media lets you see the carefully selected best part of everyone else's life, which you compare to the negative in your own life. For example, while you're scrolling on Instagram feed, there is so many beautiful people, and you start comparing with yourself. It will increase your insecurities, and you started to critique your appearance. From that, you might feel sad and wondering why you are not that beautiful as others. So, comparing yourself to other people is a sure path to anxiety, and social media has only made this easier to do. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, second opposition. Now, opposition speaker to present the opposition side official rebuttal.
Hello, can anyone hear me? All right, first of all, thank you for my lovely madam, to our honorable member of jury, and also absolutely not to mention our charming timekeeper. Okay, before I'm starting to my rebuttal. I would like to ask a question. Does anyone here are using social media? So I guess some of you guys are smiling and some of you guys are nodding. So it means like most of us are using social media in our currently environment. So as the first, the second from the opposed team said earlier, the social media are giving us unrealistic expectation, which is we are looking into too much on very narrow view, which I can say, because if we're using it very wisely and without uh, to urgently want to know everything, we can give a very good result to ourselves and not just looking on the surface, but to get in deeper and knowing how much it will affect to our life. Not such that the opposing team also said the social media created a negative body image, which is, if I'm not mistaken, some people are using social media not just, comparing themselves to others, but also making others to become their models or their mentor. For example, it will, some people want to know how to using a makeup, and then some other people show them how to using a makeup very nice and make them become more less insecure and feel more confident. For my affirmative speaker has been said earlier, the social media is a great platform, which is this is to help people to stay alert to their surrounding and making them stay connected to the environment. And if there's any other people who needing help, they will be able to help the person who need it. In addition, my affirmative speaker also said the social media created a better platform, which is increase the teen awareness. For you guys information, for your information, teen awareness is very good for a teen to developing their skills before entering adult life and having working life. This is can expose them to the current events and also allow them to interact with the organization across geographic barriers and being able to tell them how to handle on everything around and give them a new thing to learn in life. Also, as stated my second affirmative, the younger generation.
Okay. Thank to the rebuttal opposition speaker, and now call the affirmative speaker to present the side of each other.
Okay, so I'm Salim Sabban. I'm the third speaker. So our topic is all about the social media. So I'm gonna against of this topic. So my opinion is actually social media using is good, but from my key point, the too much using is actually not good. Because of why we see that nowadays children are so much very much addicted. very much addicted because of why they open their Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, and Snapchat accounts in their children life. So it is very hamper to their life, and also we can see that whole day they are scrolling the news feed of the Facebook and also the Instagram, and it really harms their eyes when they are scrolling at night. And also besides, we can see that the teenagers who using social platforms like the TikToks and they're trying to make videos which is actually very abnormal. And also we can see that if the teenagers using the social media platforms and actually they cannot focus on their study very properly. They are all the time they think that when they will post their pictures on Facebook, on Instagram, or maybe in Snapchat, and they always try to think that they always try to see how much they got likes or maybe the comments and so on. So they always scrolling about it. And also besides, when people see others happiness, or maybe some people traveling to abroad or maybe chilling, so they become very depressed, and day by day at the end of the day they think that they are a loser. And also sometimes from social media influencers, we can see in our countries so many we have social media influencers. So I think some of their content is not very appropriate because of why sometimes it hampers to the children and also the kids, and also parents will face so many difficulties to discipline to their kids as they are getting more stubborn to see all those videos and all. So it's really very difficult to handle to the children and so on. And also moreover we can see so many people using social media like Facebook and Instagram. They are scrolling so many times that all the day they are scrolling and scrolling. So I think it hampers the time management of the employees also. Like the most of the employees have the social media accounts. Unfortunately many have developed the habit of checking their accounts multiple times during the day, and even when they are at work, time spent on the personal accounts is time that is not spent on work very task. So even when an employee spends just a few seconds on social media, it can take several minutes to refocus on the task that she was not working on before checking on her phone. So and also besides, we can see the main problematic thing is the lack of privacy. In this digital world, everyone's privacy is becoming.
Thank you, the rebuttal affirmative speaker, for concluding the debate. The judges would be given plenty of time to finalize their mark and comment. The debaters are asked to leave the meeting and watch the result in our YouTube live. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Monica.
Okay, right. I think we are done with the first session, right? Anik, are we done with the first session?
Yeah, we are done with the first session.
Okay, so now we are waiting for the second session. So those from the first session, you may leave the room, right? And we are waiting for the second session debaters to join us. Okay, Hakim, right? The turn will be, first speaker will be the first proposition team, right? And then second speaker will be the opposition, right? The third speaker will be the second speaker of opposition, and the fourth will be the second speaker of opposition, right? And then the fifth speaker should be someone from opposition, right? And the last one will be someone from proposition. Okay? Right, so that will be the sequence. All right, so all the second team in the room. So when I call out your name, could you please say yes? Ashraf, is Ashraf here? Muhammad Ashraf,
Yes.
right? Nur Ifa, is Nur Ifa here? Nur Ifa, Nur Farahanim, Nur Shuhada Azmi, Nur Safira, and Nur Afiza.
Doctor.
Yeah? Okay, all the debaters, could you please turn on your video? All the debaters, huh? Okay, who is one more? One more person? Section 18, are all your team members here? Right, section 13. We have Farahanim.
Some of our team have problem with internet connection.
We are waiting for one more speaker, right?
Yes, yeah, Noifa Shahira.
We are waiting for who? Ifa?
Yes.
Okay, Ifa is here, Ifa. Right, please turn on your video, Ifa. Alright, so Hakim, I'll pass it to you now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I am pleased to welcome you all to the second session of the ULAB 3162 debate tournament. The topic being debated in this session will be online method is a better way of learning over traditional method. The affirmative team will be Nur Shuhada binti Nur Azmi, Nur Safirah binti Jabbar, and Nur Afiza binti Talib from section 18. While the opposition team will be Muhammad Ashraf Amin bin Muhammad Hazni, Nur Ifa Shahira binti Indra, and Nur Farahanim binti Sheikh Ahmad from section 13. On behalf of the team, I extend a special welcome to our jury, Nur Shazwina, Nur Shazwaniza, and Nur Nazifah. The timekeeper for this session will be binti Burhan, and I am Muhammad Nur Hakim bin Yaakob as your moderator. Each of the debaters will have 4 minutes to deliver your remark and can deliver it only once. The first speaker will be from the affirmative team, followed by the first speaker from opposition team. After that, the second affirmative speaker and the second opposition speaker will present their points respectively. The last round will be the third opposition speaker and then the third affirmative speaker. The timekeeper will signal the 1 minute time left for each of the speaker by playing the audio and when the 4 minute time is up for each speaker. With that, I call upon the first affirmative speaker to deliver the resolution, define its term and outline the affirmative case. Floor is yours.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning to our lecturer, our moderator, conscious timekeeper, honorable juries, members of the opposite team, members of the floor and the audience from YouTube Live. Welcome to this debate. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give our motion today. Our motion for debate today is this House believes that online method is a better way of learning over traditional method. The definition of the motion is online learning is a method of distance learning that takes place over the internet. A better way brings the meanings of more advantageously and more effectively. While the traditional method is face-to-face in a classroom setting with one trainer and a group of learners. Its whole definition is, we, on affirmative team, strongly support that online method of learning is more advantageously and effectively than traditional method, for goodness all elements. From the motions, we will give our team line that we as the affirmative team absolutely agree that online method is a better way of learning over traditional method. As to the affirmative team, we have structured our team split as follows. I, Nushara binti Noazmi, as the first speaker, will be talking about flexibility in learning online and cost saving. Our second speaker, Nur Afiza binti Talib, will present on our second argument, and our third speaker, Nur Safira binti Jabar, will do the rebuttal and brief summary of our arguments. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present my first argument, which is online learning offers flexibility in terms of place and time. Learning through online allows people to learn at any way they want with any device that has internet accessibility. As a result, people are able to learn online from their home or workplace. I take the current issue as an example. Social distancing is compulsory for everyone in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The advantage of online learning gives the students the opportunity to continue their studies. For sure, it was challenging at first. The students are now adapting and doing well in spite of our country still suffering a prolonged spread of the disease. In fact, we're using online platform to conduct today's debate, despite we are all from different places. Not to forget, online learning also gives flexibility in time with functionality of recorded class session videos that allow students to study at their own pace. A Vice Chancellor from University Science Malaysia, Professor Dato Dr. Asma Ismail once said, degree should learn instead of how many hours they spend in the classroom. The functionality allows them to slowly understand the concepts and then students will get a better grade. Next, I'll move on to our second argument. It is cost saving.
Okay, thank the first affirmative speaker for her remark and remind the judges that they should not finalize any debater's score until they have heard all the speech. I'll now hear the first opposition speech.
Good morning, I bid to Mr. Hakim, the judges, and to all of you presenting here today. We are from the opposition team and we agree with the definition that has been given by the first affirmative speaker. However, we, the opposition team, disagree that online method is a better way of learning over traditional method. Before I proceed to my argument for the point that have been made by the affirmative team, I'm going to introduce our team line and team split of today's debate. Our team split start as me. That's the first speaker that refute the affirmative side and deliver my agreement. I have our second speaker of our opposition team who will refute the affirmative point and deliver two other arguments that will review all the point of from the affirmative sides. And then we have our third speaker who will give the summary of our argument. Now I will refute the point given by the first speaker of the affirmative team. The first speaker stated that online learning is a space where a student could learn anywhere, anytime, any devices, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. But I'm afraid that I cannot quite agree with your point. All right, first speaker, I want to ask, does our topic for today specifically meant during for this COVID-19 pandemic that has been mentioned again and again by the affirmative team? Let's take a look at the bigger picture. Even though online learning is flexible in terms of time and the place, the effectiveness of the lesson are questionable. The difficulty of creating the curriculum is hard, and I believe that even teachers do not have an effective way of measuring student understanding of the lesson. Then I will not proceed to refute the second point made by the second speaker as I cannot hear the point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now to my second point out of the 3 points that will be attend later on. My first point derived from the perspective of online learning. People take a time and think, while online learning deems to be advantageous in the term of flexibility such where it could be learned anywhere as percentage, it lacks the most vital part of learning. Here is the main point that I want to raise, which is the inability of certain courses to be taught online. Online courses, from the experience of many instructors and students, work great with regard to the course that involve, for example, textbook or notes or tools that could be downloaded to the computer and they could read it anywhere or anytime. But this cannot be said for courses that need a hands-on laboratory aspect to it or more hands-on experience. For example, in a course where students perhaps need to examine rocks and minerals like in geology to be able to identify a said rock or carry out a chemical reaction, or student from the medical center, they need to do a simulation of a surgery. Do they have to do it online? No, right? Surely there is also a simulation video on the YouTube of Vimeo, such as simulation video, such as in the YouTube that student could see. But still, what online learning lacks is the learning experience of the students. Most students are deprived of the do-it-yourself experience, which will give them a deeper and clearer understanding of the laboratory work. Surely this cannot be achieved from just a simple online learning. A study from the University of Illinois stated that even if virtual professor is competent enough to create a comfortable virtual learning, it still lacks the physical present at an institution and can be limitation for online program. In summary, we, the opposition team, stands against the motion of online method learning is better than traditional method because of the inability of certain courses to be taught online. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I raise my case. Thank you.
Thank you for your remark. And now, call upon the second affirmative speaker to deliver the final constructive speech in support of the resolution.
Thank you, moderator. So, a very good morning, everyone. I'm Nurul Nur Afid Talib as a second speaker for the affirmative team. The motions of today's debate is that online method is a better way of learning over traditional method. Ladies and gentlemen, we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with this statement as we believe that online learning method brings more benefit than traditional method. As what already mentioned by the first speaker of the affirmative team, online learning is more flexible and in terms of place and time, and also students can learn anywhere and with any device that indirectly can save their money. Like what first speaker of affirmative said, also we no need to incur transportation costs because we no need to go back to the campus. We can save our money that before this we use for college fee. We can use the money for other important things. Now, allow me to rebut all the points laid out by the first speaker of the opposition team. The first speaker of the opposition teams has started their stand that not all subjects can be taught online because the electronic mediums that not permit the best method of instruction. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in an era of technology where the technology is advancing at an unprecedented rate. There are other alternatives that lecturer can use for the learning platform. For example, science students that have lab, do you know there are software that we call as simulation and virtual lab, a software that provide platform for training and demonstration, also designed to simulate real life experience. So I think it's not be a problem to all if the learning is through online because of the technology that we have nowadays. Me as a second speaker will be speaking about online learning also improve skills. It is one of skills that required for future career. So how online learning can improve that skills? Due to online learning, I believe we have to focus on many important things like class, assignment, and rewatch recorded for revision compared to traditional methods. So that we need to divide our time for all these things indirectly. It can improve our time management skills. Not only that, we also divide our time to be a student and also be as a good child that helps our parent to clean up the house. When you have time to study and also have time to help your parents, I believe God will bless you and you will be one of the students that successful in the world. So before I finish my word, allow me to reaffirm that my team will stand that online learning method is better than traditional learning because of the flexibility, cost saving, and can improve our time management skills compared to traditional learning methods. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. The second opposition will now deliver the last speech opposing the resolution. It's responsibility to complete the attack on the affirmative case to defend and summarize the position of negative.
So I am the second speaker from the opposition team. Before I proceed to my point, let me respond to the point given by the affirmative team. In order to successfully participate in online learning, students must possess a high degree of time management skills to keep up with the pace of the course. But with the distractions, lack of supervision from instructors, and also lack of designated workspace, this can result in poor time management skill, especially in online learning setting, such as they will be cramming all of their work at a time. Based on the points given by the affirmative team, we can see that online learning does not improve time management skills. Instead, it gives a flexibility to the students to revisit the lesson at their own pace or complete their tasks when they are free, which means that the affirmative team is using the same point as previously. So in my opinion, online learning needs students to have a good time management skill, but not necessarily improve students' time management skills. Therefore, I have to disagree with the affirmative team's statement that online learning can improve time management skills. I would like to focus on 2 points that the other side has failed to address. The first point that I would like to raise is that online learning provides little to no face-to-face interaction. For instance, even during synchronous classes, some students did not turn on their webcams. Hence, the interaction between students and instructors are very limited. Mark Edmondson, an English professor at University of Virginia, argued that online education creates a monologue and not a real dialogue in the learning environment. So I could attest to this as sometimes instructors are talking on the screen with lack of responses from students in comparison to traditional learning where two-way communication often takes place. So, affirmative team failed to see that it will take greater effort to build interpersonal and social relationships between instructor and students, as well as among classmates in an online environment. As for the third argument, another point that the affirmative team did not mention is cheating. Cheating has to be one of the biggest disadvantages of online learning. Compared to traditional learning, where assessment and exams are observed directly, cheating prevention for online assessment is complicated. Some irresponsible students will definitely take advantage of the situation and resulting in a fraudulent test result. And moreover, Google is just one click away and students can easily get the answer they are looking for. Cheating has become one of the primary problems for online assessments as it impacts our education and reliability of the assessment. And to support this, author Jeffrey Young states that tech-savvy students are finding ways to cheat that let them ace online courses with minimal effort. Students can easily share answers and access previous tasks with the advancement of technology. This shows how online assessment for online learning can be untrustworthy and ineffective to assess students' understanding, despite various methods have been introduced to curb cheating on online platforms. Therefore, I strongly disagree that online learning is better than traditional learning. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank the second opposition. Now call upon the speaker to present the opposition side official rebuttal.
Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum. I am the last speaker of the opposing team. And first and foremost, I would like to rebut all the points from the first and second speaker of the affirmative team. First, as Shuhada had said that online learning is flexible where students can learn anywhere and everywhere using the devices. But I would like to argue on this matter because the effectiveness of online learning is questionable because students are somehow easily distracted of their surrounding and many other things. And she also said that online learning can save cost, but I doubt that to be true because for that come from poor family background couldn't afford to buy expensive devices such as laptop, smartphones, tablets, and some of them need to share all those devices with another siblings, which not very comfortable for online learning. And for the second speaker, Afiza said that online class can improve time management skills, but I doubt that to be true because many students may find themselves cramming for deadlines and exams, thus they cannot arrange the time to study systematically, and they would like rushing to do everything at the same time. And I would like to emphasize all the points from my team, the opposing team. First, Ifa said that online learning require little face-to-face interaction because students did not open the webcam during the lesson, and the lesson cannot conducted effectively, as the students cannot see the lecturer and the lecturer cannot see the students. And for the cheating prevention, it is complicated because students can easily copy and paste the answer from the Google, and it's hard for lecturer or teachers to track again whether students find the answer. And last but not least, not all majors can be taught online. That is very true because it is impossible for students who major in engineering, architects to learn online because they need to do hands-on activity. Thus, I emphasize that traditional method is the best way to learn compared to online classes. To sum up all the points, I would like to quote from Joe Gaby, a billionaire from America. He said that digital communication is completely different from in-person face-to-face conversation. One will give surface insights and the other one will only give you depth of the learning. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank the rebuttal opposition speaker. And now call upon the rebuttal affirmative speaker to present the affirmative side official rebuttal.
Thank you and good morning to everyone. So I'm from affirmative team. Okay, my point is I want to talk about the positive. The speaker once said that not all major can be taught online. Yes, I agree with you. Not all, but like my friend say Afiza, my friend Afiza said that we can learn this. We can learn this from the online simulator, online app software, simulator software. Well, it can it goods for us because in the future career we, we can develop and independent and creative and a person who good in IT. Okay, so the point that second speaker said that is a student are supervised and cheating during the exam can be prevented. Actually, we have online proctoring. Yeah, in this current situation, we have online proctoring. So, what is online proctoring? Online proctoring is a exam that online tests take while a remote proctor or proctoring software observe you and your camera and your computer using your desktop, webcam, video, and audio. So this like traditional method proctoring, online proctoring involve a proctor who observe the test taker in order to confirm their identity and answer any question they may have, and to prevent, identify, and report cheating and malfare. Using this secure technology, online proctoring is a viable alternative to on-site testing. So I would like, for as affirmative team, I would like to highlight my first speaker today, which is Suhada, is online online learning is a flexible because in this for example, in this current situation, COVID, if not in this current, we have to focus on online learning because our technology become more increase more important, right? So we can use all of us. I assume that all of us have a own mobile phone, so we can use this mobile phone to join the class and do anything. Okay, you don't actually to do online learning. It doesn't necessary for us to buy the laptop or any desktop. We only can use the mobile phone to use this. Okay, so other than that, my friends Afisa said it improve time management. It's a good for online learning because we can spend more time with family, and in fact we can divide the time in a good way in family, friends, entertainment, or study, or for our for ourselves, or we call it as me time. And other than that, I would highlight also my team said that this improve time management because in the future, like I said earlier, in the future career, most employee find no need to find require a student or candidates who are independent, creative, and good in IT, which are not to depend on the lecturer or the teachers. Okay, so that's all for my speech. Thank you.
Thank the rebuttal affirmative speaker for concluding the debate. The judges will be given plenty of time to finalize their mark and comment. Debaters are asked to leave the meeting and watch the result in YouTube Live later. On behalf of the team, I thank the jury and timekeeper for the decision. I congratulate to all of the debaters and performance. The debate is now concluded. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you very much
Thank
to
you.
him as the moderator. I found out that there are some mistakes in the schedule, right? So we will start for the next session a little bit late. But now we are giving time for the jury to provide their feedback and comment, and also to release the result if you want to be announced here. Okay. All right. Okay, the jury for the first session, are you ready to provide your feedback?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. So for the first session, the motion about social media has created a better informed society. Okay, both of the team have explained good points and state the argument clearly, but there's some difference on how you support your argument and give your evidence and support your argument with some example and past research. So other than that, there's a different with your tone and your expression to the audience. So we have decided that the winner for the session 1 is the team from the opposition. Okay, madam.
All right. So thank you, Anik. Right. And is jury for the second session ready to provide your feedback for the second session?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all of you. I'm Nosha Zwaniza, the juror for this debate session. So what I want to say is both teams have done a good job and well-researched arguments in the speech. But then I have a few comments regarding the performance for both teams just now. Okay, let me comment for the affirmative team first. For the affirmative team, the chemistry of the team was good. All the speakers' confidence is strong in the first speech. The speaker has the strongest, most organized speech of the round and clearly laying the arguments. The team also has very strong and persuasive arguments given throughout and have a good cross exam and rebuttals. For the presentations, most style features were used convincingly. The voice is clear and the expression also good. The summary did an effective job of highlighting the key issues in the round. Okay, for the opposite team, overall is good. The speaker had the strongest, most organized speech of the round and clearly laying the arguments. The team also has give many good arguments given and have a good cross-exam and rebuttals. For the presentations, most style features were used convincingly. The voice is clear and the expression also good. The summary did an effective job of highlight the key issue in the round. Okay, overall, both teams have done a good job with your own arguments and speech. So now it's time for me to choose who are the winner for the debate. After I see all the performance, the points that all the debaters give us, and so on, then the opposition team will be the winner for this debate sessions. Congratulations, the team was more balanced, the speech was very persuasive and was effective way to prove their point. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you to Nosha Zwaniza as the judge for the second session. Right? Okay, so now we can continue with session 3 and session 4. So I pass the floor to Anik.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. So I am Ani Haikal bin Anwar and I will be your moderator for session 3. ULAB 3162 debate tournament. So the topic being debated in this session will be involvement in sport harms students' academic performance. So the affirmative team will be Aina Nul Bardia binti Muhammad Manazim, Sarai Manina binti Abdul Majid, and Uni Sharimi binti Suhaimi from section 13, while the opposition team will be Nurfatin binti Muhammad Fuad, Cewan Nurul Syafika binti Cewan Ngah, and Monica Formas Cape from section 18. So on behalf of the team, I extend a special welcome to our jury, which is Nor Hamizah, and the timekeeper for this session would be Lily Norliana. And so each debater will have 4 minutes to deliver your remarks and can deliver it only once. The first speaker will be informed the affirmative team, followed by the first speaker from the opposition team. After that, the second affirmative speaker and second opposition speaker will present their points respectively. The last round will be the third opposition speaker and then the third affirmative speaker. So the timekeeper will signal the 1 minute left for each speaker, and when the 4 minutes time is up for each speaker. So with that, I call upon the first affirmative speaker to deliver the resolution and defines its terms and outline the affirmative case. Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aina Nur Badriah binti Mat Nazim as the first affirmative speaker for today's debate. The topic for our debate today is involvement in sports harms students' academic performance. Now we, as today's affirmative team, strongly believe that this statement is true. But before we come to our argumentation, let us first define some important terms in this debate, which are sports itself and academic performance. Alright, so according to Oxford Dictionary, sport is defined as an activity involving physical assertion and skill in which an individual or a team competes against another and others, and it requires skill of physical. Next, according to Narat and Abdullah 2016, academic performance is the knowledge gained which is assessed by marks, an educational goal set by students and the teachers to be achieved over a specific period of time. Our team will be discussing on how these activities contribute to significantly greater negative impacts compared to the positive one towards students' academic performance. So today, as the first speaker, I'll be talking to you about how sports can be so time-consuming that it leaves some athlete with little time for studies. Our second speaker, Sarah Imanina, will be presenting on how sports can be a distraction from serious academic pursuit. Lastly, our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. Sport is very time consuming. This statement was mentioned by scholarship athletes at National Collegiate Athletic Association NCAA Division 1 during their interviews. On average, students spend more than 25 hours on sports-related activities other than games such as workout, general team meeting, and travel. On the other hand, the athletes spend less than 8 hours on academics outside of class, such as writing papers, studying, or working on group projects. So this imbalance is institutionally constructed and perpetuated, and surprisingly, the student athlete perceive this lopsided situation as normal. In addition, we can't neglect that the fact that the sports force students to miss exams and classes as with their practice and trips. They devoted at least 4 hours a day to their sports, not counting the time it takes to play or to travel for games. As these students do not have enough time to focus on their studies, most of them came to an agreement to maintain minimum academic performance, and this proved that athletic participation divert the students' attention from academics, when this should be the primary goal for the students. According to Kissinger and Miller 2009, student athletes generally face the distinctive challenges, and one of them is to balancing athletic and academic responsibilities. So this statement proved that the major challenge that seems to hurt student athletes the most academically is time constraint created through sports, making it difficult for athletes to devote time for studies or earn good grades. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you to the first affirmative speaker for your remarks. And we shall now hear from the first opposition speech.
They are so blind for those who cannot see, they are so deaf those who cannot hear. We opposition teams strongly support that participations in sport and physical activity, both inside and outside the classroom, positively impact students in academic performance. Therefore, I need to disagree with affirmative opinions. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning I beg to all honorable juries, to the timekeeper, amazing opponent from the side of affirmative team, and on the sides of opposing team, and not to forget to all the audience. First of all, we all know that sports include all forms of competitive physical activities. The aim of the sport is to improve physical abilities and skill by providing enjoyment to participants. Other than that, integrating sports and physical activities into the routines of young people has demonstrated effectiveness in increasing students' ability to learn and apply new skills and knowledge. And in some cases, sport is entertainment for spectators. What will I do today and what will my friends do? Number one, I'm going to provide an argument under the key phrase of sport is a powerful tool for self-discipline, especially in managing time. And my partner will talk about sport will lead to healthy lifestyle. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving to the what have been said by the affirmative thing, I think I have got your point right. She basically stated that sport can be so time consuming that it leaves some athletes with little time for study. But she failed to give us evidence from what she said. Athlete must learn to arrange his or her time to accommodate other activities and commitment. An athlete must learn to push through the pain of situations and to strive toward improvement. Sport also requires athlete commitment and discipline to attend the training on time, follow the sport conditions, and must follow the manner set in the game. Sport did not affect student performance in academic because as we can see from the research that have done by Christopher Yakworth from University of Cape Coast, Ghana, 91.5% students actually agree that sports made them more active in class. 89.3% of them agree that their grades had improved when they joined the sport team in the schools. 79.7% of the students also agree that sport have a positive influence on their concentration in studies. And 76.3% agree that sport do not affect the as an athlete, they need to work hard to improve and reach their potential because they believe talent without hard work is not enough to be successful. Same like study, a lot level of self-discipline is needed. Hence, they will apply the same method in studies. For instance, the athlete students can prepare their daily schedule and stick to it. What subject they want to study and how many hours they want to spend on that subject. To make sure you follow all the things in your schedule, you should determine your goals and tasks to finish for that day. At the end of the day, they will use sport as an excuse when they fail in the academic. Because now we can see that the problem is not sport, but their self-discipline in managing time. To strengthen my argument and prove that sport won't harm academic, at Ms. Nufari Haraza, 24 years old. She is a Bachelor of Technology graduate and she is also a national netball athlete. She represented Malaysia in SEA Games 2017 and won the gold medal for netball tournament. She also received the Dean Award from Azman. She also received Tun Fatimah Haji Hashim Gold Medal Excellent Awards at the 63rd of University Technology Malaysia Convocation Ceremony. So this statement is the great point to tell that Okay. To tell that I sport.
Okay, thank you for your remarks. So, I now call upon the second affirmative speaker to deliver the final constructive speech in support of the resolution.
Okay, thank you, Nick. So, thank you for the amazing points. I think that it's true that sports indeed have a positive side, but as mentioned by my first speaker, athletes spend about 4 hours a day just doing sports. And this is not including intensive training, travel, and many more. It's true that you said that they have to maintain their balance um, with their schedule. But according to Dubois, Chevrolet, Durand Bush, and Poderiz in 2014, actually causes students, especially students who involve to have burnout. So burnout for college students can surface in many ways, affecting emotions, physical energy, and student general desire to learn. So how do you expect students learn when they do not have the energy to do so? So, and also when they are stressed, it contributes to the exhaustion that could demand the demand of the travel also contribute to exhaustion. So sleeping in a non-family setting can to create uneasiness, alertness, and sometimes anxiety that keeps the brain from fully reaching a completely deep sleep, according to Tamaki and Sasasi in 2017. So given this situation, to them to focus on their studies and maintain their schedule when they are too tired from their sports activities. So indeed, we are human after all. We're not robots, and we need ample rest to stay focused on our class. We need the energy to learn. So as for this house, we truly believe that sports can be a distraction from serious academic pursuit. Although you said that we must push through the pain, I still think in this house we still think that we as a human need ample rest, and we cannot just push through the pain just so we can maintain our academic and also our sports life. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your remarks. So next, I will call the second opposition to deliver the last speech opposing the resolution.
Hi everyone, I'm Monica, and second speaker from opposition. I think I've got your point, but I'm afraid I can't quite agree with you. And to support the first opposition speaker earlier, based on the study of University of Kansas by Paige Maslin in 2015, there's a direct correlation between physical activity and the academic performance. It says that 97% of students from grades 9 to 12 who are athletes that graduated from high school are 10 times higher than those students who have never participated in sports. So students who participated in sports also shown to have better GPA outcomes than to students who aren't active in sports. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, participating in sports also helps emotional development, can lead to diverting of mood into putting the energy to sports in terms of relaxation that can promote concentrations, stimulated creativity, better memory, effective problem solving, and most importantly, improve the mood into positive sides that can extend to the student's social life. Because for sure, students who are active in sports has a few friends or maybe more, since usually some of the sports played with two or more people. So we don't have to worry about their social life. Then to recap the point two of the affirmative, that sports can be distraction from serious academic pursuit. I see your point, but as far as I'm concerned, for a long time, sports have been viewed as a way to have a healthy lifestyle. As a matter of fact, playing sports teaches life lessons like discipline, uh, responsibility, self-confidence, accountability, and teamwork, especially when exposed in a very young age. So in short, sports help the brain grow and make it work better, especially in academic. It is also based on the research of Amir Lanis from University of Rochester in 2015. So to conclude, playing sports has a lot of benefits. Besides by just being having fun, sports can help you perform better in school, more concentration, the essence of teamwork, time management, effective communication skills, build self-esteem and a sense of community, and a great way of dealing with negative emotions to work better with other people, especially in students' life like us, and increase our energy to face our daily life. And that's all for me.
Okay, thank you. So, I would like to thank the second opposition. Now, I will call upon the rebuttal opposition speaker to present the opposition side's official rebuttal.
Thank you, Anik. The affirmative team has continuously and earnestly stated that sports can be so time-consuming that cause students lack of time for study or social life. This is not true, which is in sport, students socialize and meet many people. Sport enable you to build a better relationship with other people. Through frequent sport, you can get to know a lot about an individual's personality, their strengths and weaknesses. This will teach students on how to communicate better, and it will be a good opportunity to build better relationships that may help you in your education, especially when doing a group project. Sport also train the student to manage their time between study and playing sports, and it is not a distraction from academic, but it is just a temporary escape for students to release their stress. You can have no doubt left that involvement in sports will not harm the student in academic performance. Moreover, sport give more benefits to students in their daily life. As our first speaker stated, sport is a powerful tool for self-discipline in managing time. I believe that students who play sports will know how to manage their time. This is because when students play sport, they will have more activity to do than usual, and this will make them more effective in managing time. Next, our second speaker stated that sport can improve our mental and physical health. Emotion rates high on sports. Sporting students can control their emotion, which more likely can reduce stress. As a student, study can cause more stress, especially when the final is coming. But sport can help to eliminate the stress. The Anxiety and Depression Association of America showed that sport is very effective in reducing fatigue, improving alertness, concentration, and enhancing overall cognitive function. This shown that by doing sports, students can overcome their stress and study better. In conclusion, sport has helped people to live a healthy life. Sport should not be accused of students not performing well in their study. If sports really harm student academic performance, why does the government allow sports in education from secondary until in colleges life? The importance of adopting sports and education has been recognized by the Indian government as early as 1984. Typically, school athletic activities provide enjoyable, supervised activities for young. Student athlete reports healthier eating habits, higher level of cardiovascular fitness, increased parental support, and decreased anxiety and depression. As Nelson Mandela once said, sport has the power to change the world. If we use it effectively, sport do not only help us achieve the global goal of quality education, but also act as a powerful tool in achieving the other 16 SDGs. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you for the rebuttal opposition speaker. And right now, I will call the rebuttal affirmative speaker to present the affirmative side's official rebuttal.
Okay, so hi and good day to everyone. So our opponents have claimed that sport helps students in managing time. Yes, it is undoubtedly true that they will be able to manage their time, and sure, it is a talent for some. However, what is the point of being able to manage your time properly, and let's say by making a schedule perhaps, but they do not even have time to make use of the said schedule? athletes need to join this and that competition, and it is a fact that whenever the competition is around the corner, they will have to go through intensive training, and majority of their time is being spent on practice. So do you think they will be able to literally balance their time for both sides when in reality they are focusing only on one side? I don't even want to start with how tired they will be, like most of their energy are being consumed for sport. So are you fully sure they will get to give 100% of their attention during class? Aries et al. 2004 agreed that athletes usually reported greater struggles to find time to study and achieve academically. From my own personal experience, I have missed out a few essential classes just because I have to focus on my training and competition. And the least I can say that by the time I was done with all the sport activity, I am too tired to even lift a finger. Next, I had like to take issue with what you just said. You claim that sports increase mental and physical health. I will not substantiate on the physical health because it is what it is, right? But for the mental health part, I believe even athlete and sports students face burnout, in which it is a condition as stated by my second speaker that it is a situation where the athlete experiences overwhelming exhaustion from training and competition, resents or completely loses interest in the game, and experience lower achievement than previously demonstrated. According to Aklan and Creswell, between 19 and 25% of athletes experience high level of burnout. So my point is, how can you be so sure that sports actually help with mental health issues? When in reality, once the students face burnout, they will actually face a lot of other issues that can lead to mental health problems. And I believe when they face such condition, it will be almost impossible for them to socialize and so on. So, to sum up where we stand in this debate, we are still certain that involvement in sports harms students' academic performance, as it is time consuming and actually give negative impact to students' mental health. Thank you.
Thank you for the rebuttal affirmative speaker for concluding the debate. So right now, the judges would given plenty of time to finalize their mark and comments. So debaters are asked to leave the meeting and watch the result in our YouTube live later. Okay, thank you. So on the behalf of the team, I thank you for the jury and the timekeeper for the assistance, and congratulations for your performance in this session. Okay, so this debate is now concluded. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ani.
So after this, we will start the next session shortly after this. So the team from the opposition and preposition can join the Webex meeting.
Debaters, please start your video so that the moderator will be able to know whether you are here or not. Okay?
I think we have one more debaters, right? So we have Zarfan, Izzat, Intan Nabila, Fatin Nabia, and Amirah Putri. Okay, Atik is coming. Okay, are you ready, guys? Okay, and we will start our next session, which is session 4 for this debate tournament. And the topic being debated in this session will be technology is a curse, not a blessing. So the affirmative team will be Intan Nabila Natasha binti Muhammad Adha, Fatin Nabiha binti Zulaili, and Amira Putri binti Ahmad from section 18. While the opposition team will be Nur Atik Muizuddin bin Zaidi, Muhammad Zarfan bin Muhammad Azman, and Muhammad Izzat Izani bin Rosli from section 13. So on behalf of the team, I extend a special welcome to our jury, which is Raihan Zakiah. And the timekeeper for this session would be Hakim Yaakob. And I am Ani Haikal bin Anwar as your moderator. So with that, I call upon the first affirmative speaker to deliver the resolution and define the term and outline for the affirmative case.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to all panels, judges, timekeeper, colleague opposition and everyone here. We as Studio Proposition have structured our case. I as the first speaker will be talking about data privacy. Our second speaker, Amira Putri, will be elaborate on the fact of social media. Our third speaker, Fatina Biha, will be elaborate on child development. Before I start with my argument, I would like to start by saying that I am most certainly not against the technology. Technology really helping us, especially in the medical field. Then technology help to boost up the economy by doing the forecasting through data analytics. And according to manifest.com, there are several companies that helping their own country in providing the big data. For example, Spec India, which provide big data consulting and custom software. But the fact of the matter is that the motion put before the House today is not about the benefit of technology. It's not about whether or not the technology is good or bad. And the motion put before us today is about the impact that technology can have on our interaction and our relationship. As a society, we are constantly feeling that technology is the basic need of human. We are growing more and more dependent on technology to survive, especially on this era. The simple truth is that, for the most part, we are spending huge proportion of our life living in digital universe, and it's corrupting the way that we act with each other. Therefore, let me come to my first argument, which is data privacy. Before I start with my argument, I want you to ask yourself a question. Are you sure your data is safe? In today's world, data is the most important asset, especially for organization. According to Piali Chandri from Provisa.com, data is an asset and is one of the most important asset and association because it is unique in its detail and context. Some companies spend $1 million to update their data system in order to prevent any leaking of data caused by hackers. But the truth is, you yourself is giving the data willingly to the third party without you notice. How is that possible? So I believe everyone have a social media account. Did you remember what your personal data you given to the system in order to create an account? You thought that it's okay to give them all the information that they need, but you don't see the bigger picture here. All the information you given to them will be analyzed and you is being watched without you know. Your daily conversation is being heard. All your action is being traced. Your like, your comment, your card swipe is being collected in the real time and it will connect to your identity. Then, when your data is being sold, the buyer will be given a direct access to your emotional pulse. This means that they know your like, your attention, your boundaries, and what it takes to give them a benefit. Back to my main argument, the data privacy. All your online activity does not just evaporate in the air. All your digital data is being mined into $1 trillion year industry. But did you care about it? You don't, because of the free connectivity. What the real example that I can give to you is about the Cambridge Analytica became the behavior agency to change the behavior of the people. So how they do it? They will they will collect your data and analyze it, and they will find a persuader, a person that can persuade other people to achieve their goal. A personalized advertisement, blog and content will be posted to them to trigger them until they saw the world that they want you to see. Therefore, it shows that how the Cambridge Analytica manipulate the data to change your behavior for their own good. So as a conclusion, technology can be misused, especially in the wrong hand. Therefore, I strongly agree that technology is a curse, not a blessing. That's all for me.
Okay. Thank you, Intan, for your remarks. And next, we shall now hear from the first opposition's speech.
Thank you so much to the affirmative team for their point. We agree that in everything come with a bad side. However, but before that, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, a good afternoon that I bid to the moderator, honorable panel of jury, the precise timekeeper and amazing opponent, and not to forget this member of the beautiful house, Muhammad Zarfan, Ida Idani, and myself, Nur Atik Muslim bin Zaidi. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be doing two things today. Firstly, I will be rebutting the case that they brought up from their side. And secondly, I'm going to provide the argument from the side of the opposition. But first, let's talk about the point brought up by the side of the affirmative team. As mentioned by them, data is indeed being stolen by people as they lack privacy. But something the affirmative team failed to mention is how the data is indeed turned to benefit the public safety. The data that is collected can also be used to track down criminal data by the police. This can keep the people safe. That is something that indeed is a good side of the technology. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about our stand on this argument. Ladies and gentlemen, our stand on this matter is the technology is not a curse, but instead a blessing. I will speak about the first argument to prove our stand that indeed the technology is a blessing and not a curse, which is the benefit of technology in healthcare. My partner will be speaking about the second argument, the benefit of technology in education, and the third partner will be doing the rebuttal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the betterment of life between humanity. In such, we disagree that the idea of technology being a curse. The first point of our technology is technology saves life. We are talking about the millionth life of people that are unable to breathe on their own. In the case of comatose, we are talking about the people that are able to breathe on their own. This, ladies and gentlemen, happened to comatose people, and they need help they need help of ventilator to pump air into the lung through their windpipe. Perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, you are aware of the current situation we are living in, a pandemic where people are infected and dying. This technology has been saving those lives by helping them breathing. Is that a curse in your view? Definitely no, ladies and gentlemen. It is a blessing and keep us human alive and improve the rate of living. Now, moving on to my second point, technology is beneficial to improve public health. The technology allows for accessible knowledge for people to understand better on diseases. This, in a way, will help advance the knowledge of medical in terms of common medical issues. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, as previously mentioned, we are currently living in the world of pandemic. And living in that world of pandemic, we use technology as a way to inform people of the danger of the pandemic, reminding them, sharing them the current issue to keep the public health in a great condition. Important to note, without this technology, we would be receiving information at a slower rate, and thus the rate of infected will be increasing. That is all for my point. Now I'll pass back to moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Nur Atik, for your remarks. Next, I Now call the second affirmative speaker to deliver the final constructive speech in support of the resolution. Silakan.
Technology has changed the ways in which we are communication in daily life. This is especially evident in the way in which social media such as telecommunication system, instant messaging, the World Wide Web and social networking platform now functions. Before I continue, Assalamualaikum and very pleasant to a bit too wise panel of jurists, accurate timekeeper, worldly opposition and everyone. As our side said before, we are not against the technology, but we are saying that impact of the technology. Okay, then come to my point. Social media is a computer-based technology that facilitated the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through the building of virtual network and communities. By design, social media is internet-based and gives us quick electronic communication of content. Content include personal information, document, videos, and photos. Users engage with social media via computer, tablet, or smartphone via web-based software or web application, often utilizing for messaging. The power of social media is the ability to connect and share information with everyone on earth or with many people simultaneously. The most popular social media websites as January 2002 are first are Facebook with 2.27 billion users monthly, YouTube 1.9 billion, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok 1 billion users monthly. In today's world, many of us rely on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram to find and connect with each other. While it has its benefit, it is important to remember that social media can never be replacement for real human connection. From the data given, social media give the negative impact for the users. Okay, for my first point, will lead to isolation. Extreme usage of social media has reduced the level of human interaction because of social network interaction with other people has become effortless and people isolated their life behind online identities. Face-to-face communication and meeting have been reduced and many of us have lost of flavor and charm to be together under one roof. A study at University of Pennsylvania found that high usage of Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram increased rather decreased feeling loneliness. Conversely, the study found that reducing social media can actually make you feel lonely and isolated and improve overall well-being. Moving to the next point, fear of missing out. While fear of missing out have been around far longer than social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram seem to exhibit feeling that others are having more fun living better life than you are. The idea you are missing out, the idea that you are the idea that you're missing out on certain things can impact your self-esteem, trigger anxiety, and fuel even greater of social media use. First, fear out. Fear out missing can compare you pick your phone every few minutes to check the update or compulsively respond to each other every alert. Even if that means taking risks while you are driving, missing out sleeping at night, or prioritizing social media interaction over real world relationship. From this point, I also want to elaborate with the trend that the elder wants to follow. For example, in my feeling challenge, also refer to the Kiki challenge, goes global with the dangerous result. The viral on 2018 stunt has the people around the world getting out moving car and getting down low in the street with the lyric, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? This will be into a worrying trend. So unlucky participants have been run over, fined or bad.
So I'm sorry, we have to stop. Okay, thank you, Miss Amira. So right now, the second opposition, I will now deliver the last speech opposing the resolution. It is your responsibility to complete the attack on the affirmative case and to defend and summarize the position of the negative.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. And I think I've got the point that have been given by the second speakers of affirmative positions. Now let me respond to it. But before that, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to the handsome moderator and precise timekeeper and everyone. In response to what has been said by the second speakers, you mentioned about data privacies and you basically mentioned about data privacies. And I would like to share about a quote by John Maxwell, which life is a matter of choices. And every choice you make makes you, which if you choose to spend your time all day long in social media, then you make yourself depressed or whatsoever negative vibe brings to you. So you have to think of other solution to that problems. And now I'm going to touch about the main points. And here is the main point that I want to raise, which is why our side is thoroughly agree that technology is a blessing instead of a curse. And my leader has given his strong point that technology has contributed a major role in healthcare. And I'll be emphasizing the other benefits towards the education field. And to begin, I'd like to share the state. I would like to share the statement by the US Department of Education, which they define technology in education as a fundamental structural change that can be integral to achieving significant improvement in productivity. And technology is used to support both teaching and learning process. And technology inserts classroom with digital learning tools such as computers, laptop, handheld devices like smartphones, printers, tablets, iPad, and many more devices. You can just name it. Thus, technology also has the power to transform teaching by ushering new model of connected teaching. And this is in accordance with the 21st century learning, which in demand. And teachers, by this way, teachers are able to link with their students and to professional content, resources, not just physical textbooks, system to help them improve their own instruction and personalized learning. And for instance, I'll give you an example. Teachers in school used to write on the whiteboard or chalkboard, for example. And according to a study by Chandasi 2018, there are 4 harmful effects from using the chalk dust, which leads to lung damage, eye damage, skin damage, and upper respiratory tract damage. And all these respiratory related systems are essential to our body. And hence, I would like to accentuate that technology is completely not a curse like what you have said. And it is definitely a blessing to us. And with all the points that I have stated, I believe that ample to strengthen our stance to go against your ideas. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Izani. So now I call the rebuttal opposition speaker to present the opposition sides of rebuttal.
Fatin.
Oh,
Tidak, tak boleh. Okay. Alright. Thank you, moderator. Okay, dengar. Thank you, moderator. Good afternoon to all panels, jury, timekeeper, and opponents team. I'm Fatin, who is the last speaker from affirmative team. I will continue about why technology is a curse. I see your point that saying we should manage our time in social media, but we cannot control the environment in the social media. While some forms of technology may have made positive change in the world, there is evidence for the negative effect of technology and its overuse as well. Social media and mobile devices may lead to the overuse of technology that may have a more significant impact on developing to children and teenagers.
Firstly, there are various of studies note that children who overuse technology more likely to experience such as lack of attention, low academic performance, low creativity, and others. It seems that these effects are due to the weakness of cognitive skill development. So the question here, what is cognitive skill development? Cognitive skill development in children involve the progressive building of learning skills such as attention, memory, and thinking. Although some cognitive skill development is related to child genetic makeup, but most cognitive skills are learned. First is attention, and attention will enable the children to concentrate on one thing for an extended period of time. Learning to focus attention is an important cognitive skill that the children will use in virtually all future learning. Basically, children younger than 5 years of age tend to have short attention spans that typically last 15 minutes less. By the time a children reach at 8 years of age, they should have an increased ability to focus on one thing for longer periods. They also should be more adept at ignoring distraction. So, parents or teachers can help a children develop his ability to focus by pointing out things and then asking them to comment on his observation instead of giving them a gadget that will lead them to become addicted to technology and lack of attention. Second is memory. Memory is an important cognitive skill that equips a child to retain what he has learned and experienced and therefore build a future base of knowledge. This particular skill is important since it will help them to increase their academic performance. Lastly is thinking skill. The ability to think includes being able to reason out the things and find solutions. This cognitive skill is important in order to help a children to know whether they accomplishing what they set out to do or they need to ask for help. For example, when a children reads a storybook, thinking skill allow them to determine for himself whether they understand what they are reading or they need to go over the passage again. In addition, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that those with high digital media use have a higher chance of developing symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is ADHD. Based on the research of an association of digital media use with subsequent symptoms of ADHD, we found that technology appears to negatively affect the overall health of children and teenagers of all ages, while the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend children to avoid screen all time together. That's all from me. As a conclusion from affirmative side, we are convinced that all the evidence that mentioned before are enough to prove that technology is a curse and not a blessing. Proud to purpose, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fatin, for your remarks. And next, I will call the next speaker to present.
Hello everyone, especially Dr. Hafila, honorable juries, timekeeper and speakers. I am Muhammad Zafan bin Mat Azman is here to conclude our team speech. Okay, so I am speaking here to rebut about the statement mentioned by speaker 3. Technology is good to us and has been good. First, social media can only be harmful when you let it be so. If you use it with discipline, you will make it your tool and won't become the tool yourself. Don't forget, you're the master. Once again, it is all about self-control. To let you know, we are light years away from robots who can control humans and artificial intelligence. So let's not even go there first. When you say technology is dominating your life, in a sense that you are allowing it to do so. As a human being, you have a brain to decide what's wrong, when to stop, and when to get off. If you are unable to use that brain, you don't have any right to blame others for it. People complain that technology makes one lazy and a beast. Sorry, but it's not technology that's fault here. It's us. If you have become a couch potato, that is your choice. You had the choice of switching off the remote control. You don't have any right to complain about it. When you allow technology to become a master, in fact, you're letting your life go for a toss. Ladies and gentlemen, now to summarize our points, we do agree that technology is a blessing to us humans if it is used efficiently and worthwhilly. Mr. Atik from our side has mentioned that his points that technology saves life. The future of healthcare lies in working hand in hand with technology, and healthcare workers have to embrace emerging healthcare technologies in order to stay relevant in the coming years. Also, we all wouldn't know about the current cases and whatever may concerning on the pandemic that has been happening to this world. Imagine having to wait for letters or newspapers in order to know updates on the pandemic that is going on. That is not going to be good. Next, Mr. Izani stated that technology is beneficial to education field. Having access to other information outside of the book gives students many different ways to learn the concept. Teachers can come up with creative ways to teach their students that keeps them engaged. So let me ask, are we afraid that robots will take over the jobs of doctors, teachers, and other professionals? Are we scared that artificial intelligence will control the world within a couple of years? All these fake news and imaginary dystopias. However, we all have this in common, the fear about the unknown place called future and where is it going to bring us. No matter how scary the future might seem at the moment, we cannot stop technological development, and sooner or later we will find out that the whole areas of our lives have been transformed through various digital technologies. Thus, our task at the moment is to face our fears about the future with courage, to turn to technologies with an open mind, and to prepare for the changing world with as much knowledge as possible. That is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad Zarfan, for concluding the debate. So the judge would be given plenty of time to finalize their marks and comments, and the debaters are asked to leave the meeting and watch your result in our YouTube live later. Okay, on behalf of the team, I thank you for the jury and timekeeper for your assistance, and congratulations for the debaters on your performance. So this debate is now concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, Ani.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
So I pass this floor to Madam Filah to continue.
Okay, so thank you to all of you. Job well done. So we are waiting for the jury to provide feedback. Jury for session 3 and jury for session 4. Jury, are you ready? Hakim? No, not Hakim. Sorry, forgot.
Nur Hamiza.
Yeah, right. Nur Hamiza and followed by Raihan, right? Nur Hamiza, are you here, Nur Hamiza? Oh, Nur Hamiza is not here, right? What about Raihan? Are you ready, Raihan, for the feedback?
Yes, madam.
Okay, right.
Okay, Assalamualaikum of you. What I have to say about this debate is that women have excellent job in finding research argument for this debate. Just a few comments about the performance for both teams. For the affirmative team, the chemistry of the team was good. The speaker's confidence is very strong. I can see that. And the speaker had the strongest, most organized speech of the round and clearly lying the argument. The team also has a very strong and persuasive argument about the technology. You guys have given a lot of reasons why technology is a curse, such as data privacy, social media, and children development. For the presentation, most style features were used convincingly, and the voice is clear and the expression also good. The summary did an effective job of highlighting the key issues in the round. And for the opposite team, overall is very good. The speaker had the strongest, most organized speech of the round and clearly lying the argument. The team also has given many good arguments and have a good reason why technology is not the curse, but not the curse, but a blessing. For the presentation, they have shown stronger and well elaborated speech to convince the juries. The voice is clear and the expression is also good. And also the summary did an effective job of highlighting the key issues in the round. Overall, both teams have done a great job with your own argument and speech. So after seeing all the performance, the point that all the debaters given, the opposition team will be the winner for this debate session. Congratulations, the team was more balanced, the speech was very persuasive, and was effective way to prove their points. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Raihan. Hamiza, are you ready, Hamiza?
Okay, madam.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes. Yeah, Hamiza.
Okay. The proposition team, the decision for the proposition team is unclear due to technical issue, and this also led to the perform of the group.
Hamiza, can you please share, start your video?
Ada masalah teknikal, madam.
All
Tak
right.
boleh function.
Okay, continue. All over again, all over.
And for the opposition team, a good argument with some citizen to setting the point. The perform is excellent. Examinator is rebuttal goods cross exam and rebuttal with minor sheet. And that's all is a good perform. So I choose the opposition team.
Okay, Hamiza. Thank you very much. Right, so that concludes our first round of debate between section 13 and section 18. We will resume our next session at 2 o'clock. Right? So I'll come back at 2 o'clock with a new YouTube live link. Okay? Right. See you at 2 o'clock. Assalamualaikum and bye-bye.
Waalaikumsalam, Baba Madam.
So come back at 2 o'clock. Alright? All of you. Okay. Alright. Thank you to all of the organizing team. Alright? So we will resume at 2 o'clock. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi